Hey, welcome everybody to beautiful 22nd Street Landing. That's Danny Kadota. And this is the Danny Kadota Show. Danny?
I am?
Yeah, I think. Last time I checked. Not quite sure,
I'd have to check.
man.
Let me check my driver's license.
I'm doing the sleep deprivation with the fair going on right now.
Oh,
So
my
maybe
God.
you're
Oh,
not
that's
Danny
right.
Kadota. Who knows?
That's right. Boy, those are the late nights. And
Man.
long
Don't
days.
rub it
huh?
in, man. And I'm old. I can't do that anymore.
And I hear that.
And we have got a special guest with us here today. The great, the one, the only, Todd Woods. Todd.
Hey, Todd.
How are you, man?
I'm better than I deserve, as you know.
So good to see you here.
Yeah, it's been a while, hasn't it?
has. It's been way
Has
too
it been
long.
a year? I think it's probably been over a year.
The way time flies.
Right?
It's ridiculous, isn't it? It
Unreal.
really,
Yeah, you've
truly
gone
is.
from, I think in the last year, you've gone from what? You guys have gone from what, 5,000 subscribers to 3 million or something like that?
Not quite.
Insane.
Yeah.
I
We're
gotta be
getting
close.
there. We're trying, man. That is for sure. Hey, it is really great to have you here. Why don't you tell everybody what your day job is and what you do?
Well, people are going to get real jealous of me because I'm retired. Actually,
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah. I put in 31 years in the fire service, LA
Yes.
County Fire. I was
Right.
captain for 14 years, and I retired in 2019. And I don't know, for some reason, us guys that retire young, we never seem to stay retired. you
Yeah.
know? So I've actually taken on 2 jobs. I work at Anglers Marine in
Yep.
Anaheim 2 days
Oh,
a week.
Rick's
Mondays
still
and
over there?
Thursdays.
Rick's
Yeah,
still-
Rick.
I thought you retired
Oh,
from that.
my
That's
God.
what I was saying.
No,
Oh, okay, you're
yeah.
still
No,
going.
Good deal.
I'm still going. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm still working
Yes,
with
it had a Rick
Yeah,
for me.
I
My
will,
God, I miss
absolutely.
Rick was so good to me.
Yes, sir. And then I'm actually the director. I wore my garb here for Cast for Kids.
Cast for Kids.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
Sounds like
yeah.
another guy we're going to be working with our nonprofit.
There you go.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Yes,
there
yes.
you
It is
go.
a nonprofit. Yeah, and we provide an event for kids with special needs, and it's
God.
a fishing event.
Perfect.
Yeah. So
We're doing I don't want to take you out, but
No.
real quick, we're doing Anthony and I are working on a nonprofit. It'll be out next month. The whole goal of it is to just get people outdoors.
Perfect.
That includes what you're doing. So
Yeah.
we're going to be working together. Todd.
Absolutely.
Guaranteed.
Yeah.
Keep going.
That's
Tell us
Yeah,
more
yeah.
about
So,
Cast for
so
Kids.
we provide an event, a fishing event. It could be a shoreline event. It can be an ocean boat event. It can be a event where there's a bunch of boaters. There's a kid with special needs, and and it's a great foundation. It's been around for a long time, actually. And I've been lucky enough to be the director for Arizona and California.
Congrats.
that's awesome.
Thank
That's
you.
very fulfilling work.
that's
isn't it?
awesome.
Oh my
That is
gosh!
awesome.
It puts a smile on your face,
Yep.
the kid's face, the parents' face, and the volunteers. It's about 99% volunteers. I'd say, hey Phil, I need you to sign up as a volunteer for this event out here in San Pedro. You sign up, we pair you with a kid, and you have that kid for the whole time, and his
wow.
parents for 4 or 5 hours.
Great, Danny.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
That's awesome. That could change. That's a life-changing deal.
Absolutely,
For kids, you
for,
know?
for the volunteer.
Well, I
That's what
was
I'm
just
saying.
going to say to you,
Absolutely.
I don't know who this is better for, the kids or the volunteers. It's pretty darn close, right?
It's absolutely, seeing the smiles on these kids' face. And then we always get, we do this survey afterwards, and we always get these awesome surveys from parents that talk about, we're talking about, like I said, we're talking about some kids are nonverbal, okay? When I say nonverbal, they don't speak a word. We've actually had a couple events where the special needs kid has actually spoke their first
Whoa.
word on the event.
Whoa.
Yes,
Man,
yes,
that's-
caught on video.
Oh my
That is so
God!
cool.
Oh my!
Yeah.
It's
That's
the
awesome.
healing powers of being
That's
on the
awesome.
water,
It's
being
unreal.
outdoors.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
all of that. And for the volunteers, when you get to our age and you retire, man, I'm telling you, you sit in front of the TV going, you might as well sign your death warrant.
Yeah,
If
your
you have
death
a
certificate.
reason, and I can't think of a better reason to hang out on the face of the earth than to do something like Cast for Kids.
absolutely.
Yeah, and that's just it. I mean, I've had some what I would consider major accomplishments, and one of those is getting married. One of those is having kids. Another one is working for as a servant, working for a fire department for over 30 years.
Yep.
And there is nothing more gratifying.
I knew you were going to say this.
No, it's and it keeps happening over and over and over again. We put over almost 100 events all over the United States, and in California we do about 15. I'm trying to increase that. That's my goal.
Yeah.
But every time it's kind of like the fire service. When you go on a call, people always ask me, when you go on a call, what are some of the things you think about? I go, well, everything. There's always some challenge you're going to get. It's kind of like when you're fishing and on the ocean, you don't know if you're going to catch a mackerel, a tomcod, a bluefin tuna, yellowfin tuna. I mean, obviously you're out there, fishing for something specific, but something always happens where you get your mind blown.
Yeah.
And that's what happens in the Cast for Kids event.
That is so
in a good way.
fantastic, man.
Yeah.
So before we go any further on it, how can people reach out to you if they want to volunteer? They want to make a donation.
Oh, those are great questions. So the easiest way is castforkids.org. Cast, CASTFOR, kids, KIDS.org.
Yeah.
And you put in the event. Like for instance, if you have a lot of visitors or if you will subscribers from all over the world, so you put in the state, like say Texas.
Yeah.
And you say, I want to donate to the next Texas event.
Oh, great.
Which might be the next week. We're actually, you caught me off guard here. We're actually doing an auction. I believe it's early August. I want to say August 9th. I could be wrong. But we're auctioning some things that people would do, obviously, but, for whatever price you can get it for. Like, for instance, I think there's I'm doing a guide trip.
Oh, great.
Yeah, so you can go on and say, hey, I want to bid on that guide trip, and hopefully someone will go on there and say, they want to bid, $100. So those people from Cast for Kids realize that I'm worth, my guide trips are worth
At least
more than
$100,
Yeah,
right?
at least $100,
Yeah.
Jay Ellis is he's our director, and he's, who Jay is.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he's a Bassmaster Classic champion.
But
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
you guys
Yeah.
are just great guys, period.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
not just that. You guys have the personality for it, the temperaments. I mean, that's just
Yeah,
phenomenal.
and Jay, when you see someone, winning the Bassmaster Classic, if you're a football player, it's like winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah, right.
And he's done that. And you would think when I watch him interact with kids, you would think he's winning the Bassmaster Classic all over again. He's just
right.
great, and so we got a great team of people that we work with. So castforkids.org,
What do you think, Danny? This is great stuff.
I don't think it gets any better than that because, at our stage, and I've been very blessed, just like you, Todd, to have accomplished things in saltwater and then freshwater and fly. I mean, every facet is something that I wanted to hit going through my fishing career.
Yeah.
And even, like I said, at the upper level, even at fly fishing and travel fishing around the world, And I've been so blessed. It's at the point now, just like you, it's paying it back.
Yeah.
And the appreciation with the kids and everything else. If you could change some of these kids' lives and turn it around to where, even if they use it for incentive to get grades, to get them through to wherever they're going to go.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's all a blessing. That
Yeah.
part's a huge blessing.
Yeah, you
It's
came to
unreal.
the right place because
Yeah.
Dan Lightfoot sitting out here, he has said to me many times, this Friedman Adventures family, there's so many really good people in here. And I don't know exactly why, but probably because we don't put up with them if they're not. But they're all giving good people who are looking out for the benefit of Michael Limon, his grandson, or looking out for whoever.
Exactly.
Danny's
well,
part of that.
I fished with my grandparents every weekend, and that saved me. Doug,
Yeah.
because I used to get into a lot of fights. I used to get in, and finally my dad got tired of swatting me and picking me up in school and then getting swatted again, and and he finally said he knew that I liked fishing more than getting in trouble. So they dangled the grades and behavior for fishing trips. So Thursday night my grandpa would call and say, "How'd he do?" He said, "Well, he did good because he wants to go fishing."
Yeah.
Friday afternoon, Grandpa picked me up and we'd go pick up Grandma. I would go to the tackle store with him on Friday. Grandma would make the sushi, the rice balls, and the chicken teriyaki, the bento lunch for Saturday. But I learned at that time, from the age of 5, to get my intel at the tackle shops like Grandpa did.
Yeah.
And it carried on all through my bass fishing, saltwater fishing, flash.
Sure.
It didn't matter.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just a progression that goes through your head. And that once you have that process and procedure and doing your homework, it's just, and you tell kids,
Yeah.
he who does his homework and his research is going to benefit, technology-wise, everything. And that helped throughout every aspect of my fishing.
And by the way, everybody, both these guys are exceptional human beings who make the world a better place.
Oh,
I
that
haven't
means
seen
a lot.
this guy for way too long.
I know. No.
It's good to see you, man.
I've been thinking about you for, every time I go fishing, every time I watch you on TV, I'm like, wow, here we go. It's like
You should take it from Dan. You know what he says? Every time he gets, like, he's on a diet, he gets really hungry, he thinks of me and it kills his appetite.
come on, I know that's not
Let me
true.
tell you.
But no, I'm loving it because it's like you're saying right now. It seems like to me, and I've been witnessing it myself. The fishing has been incredible for
Oh my
2025,
God.
hasn't it?
Yeah,
It's just
Danny.
Yeah.
I mean, and it just, every time I think
Phenomenal.
it's reached its apex, it gets better.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal year.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
No doubt about it. I want to go back to the Cast for Kids just for one more moment.
Sure.
I think the average person out there, if you said, hey, we're going to take these kids on a fishing trip, they probably say to themselves, okay, cool. They're going to cut some bait up.
Absolutely.
Maybe they'll catch a fish. But now you just talked about a special needs kid who spoke their first words.
Yeah.
There's more to it than just the fishing.
Yeah, I think you nailed it when you said it's, that maybe it's the water, maybe it's we just come together. You think about all the things that go on and that have been going on in life today, and
Crazy out there.
yeah, let's just take all the negative stuff, okay? And yet when we get on the water, all that stuff just goes away miraculously.
It does.
Yeah, so imagine taking your child, your child with special needs to an event that person, most of the time, we get a lot of repeat kids, but most of the time it may be their first time, and then they get the experience of a lifetime that gives them hope in humanity, right?
100%.
So
That's not hyperbole. That's
No.
true.
Yeah, it's 100% true. I'm going to leave this place. I'll drive home, and I'll get mad. There'll be some guy, the road rage will cut me off and blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
But when you're on the water, all that stuff just poof.
Right.
Even tangles. When you start getting tangles, for the most part, you're like, oh well. Your guy will come in, unhook it, do what he has to do, and then you're like, you're back, oh, it's okay, buddy. You get a tangle out here on the 405 or the 110.
Yeah, right.
That's a whole
Kill
different
each other.
situation.
I know. Yeah. And it brings a sense of calm to you, too, right?
Yeah,
Where
yeah.
You kind of separate, like Father Ignatius in my high school used to say, you got to separate the nickel and dime issues from the really important issues. Don't get, all upset about crap.
Right.
Pretty much is what he used to say.
Exactly. And one more thing I want to say, I always leave this part out. Like I said, 99% is volunteer. We need coordinators. Okay. And what I mean by that is like, hey, Phil says, hey, I want to put together an event. Well, that's all you have to do. Once you say, I want to put together an event, then I'm just kind of going to guide you through that whole deal. Danny said, oh, I want to put 20 kids on my boat. Okay, let's do it. What's the date? Once we get a date, a coordinator commitment form signed, we're rocking from there. We're going to make it happen. It takes about 6 months to put an event together.
Perfect.
from start to finish. So.
I got to tell you, though, if I get a date, my wife will divorce me, so I can't get a date. You know what I mean?
Okay,
bad, right?
we won't put a date together.
was
Boom.
That was bad. I know. I had to do it. You guys mind if I read a few comments? Here?
Oh,
Go for
There's
it.
Love
a few
it.
people join us, then we're going to go back, talk a little bit about this, and we're going to talk about your Sea of Cortez
Yes,
adventure
with Tony Reyes.
in a moment. Tony Reyes, Lipper the Fisherman says, hey guys, happy Monday. Lipper, thank you for being here. John B., fishing is hot right now in SoCal. John, you are so right. Isaac says, good afternoon. Jeff Yeomans, thank you for your service. Jeff, good afternoon. Friedman Adventures family, great to have Jeff from the 540 Slingers Club here. And Mad Dog, that's Mad Dog right there, man. He's really digging this because he's a person that really does strive to make the world a better place. That's why he's a huge part of Friedman Adventures.
Mad Dog.
Mike Krinkovich, go dog. Mike's kind of a, in between member of the Friedman.
Okay.
No, Mike's a great guy. And Mad Dog recognizes Mike, says the cranker's in the house. Speaking of great people, Tim Marquez is absolutely fantastic. And John Dulé retracted his message. It said, we are live now. I saw it, John. I don't know why you retracted that one. That was good. Yes, sir. Live action, as Mad Dog says. Tim says, thanks for the fishing guidance. I used Danny's tips, and it helped me a lot. Danny, Tim Marquez, giving you kudos, man.
Oh, you're so welcome. Just keep the questions coming.
Absolutely. Dave Petroy says, good afternoon. Prior to the bluefin tuna showing up on the Cortez bank, where the San Diego boats getting the bluefin tuna? They were getting them in a variety of different locations. Prior to that, there was fish on the backside of San Clemente Island up toward San Nicolas Island. There was fish kind of out there on the Butterfly at one point in time, David. There was some fish close to Point Loma, like 55 miles. Fish down the coast there off Ensenada. There's fish right now currently down there off San Martin Island. They've been bouncing around all over the place.
The Tanner. I know they're on the Tanner.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, and there's so much fish out there right now, Todd. There, guys that are talking to me said they're just leaping out of the water. Bluefin everywhere.
Oh.
As far as the eye can see, it's great. Robert Graber says, happy Danny Kadota Show Monday. Phil, Danny, special guest Todd and the Friedman Adventure family fanatics. Really great to have you with us, Robert. Really good. Chivo dropped by just a moment ago. Chivo, always good to see you. Nice meeting your lovely wife, Michelle, today also. He got some great smoked fish. Did you get any smoked
I did,
fish?
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Where'd that bag go? Did he take it home with him?
Yes,
oh,
that's right. You want to munch on that during the show,
that was
right?
good stuff.
Tell us about your trip. Where were you? Where did you go? You drove down to San Felipe, right?
Yeah, so we drove down to San Felipe, and the trip usually starts on Saturday morning, I believe, and so we always go down there. We get there early. It's really not that bad of a drive. Everyone talks about, Mexico. I mean, it's a wonderful drive. The road.
Beautiful drive.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Mexicali, yeah.
Yeah.
We went through
Stop for any
Mexicali.
Chinese food there?
No.
They have more Chinese
In
restaurants
Mexicali?
in Mexicali than they have Mexican food restaurants.
Really?
Because the immigrants came in from China to build the railroads.
Wow, they never left. Yeah.
It's really great. Really, really good.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
No. Good to know. We should have, because when we got to Mexicali, for you guys that don't know the routine, if you're in Mexico for more than 7 days, you got to get a visa.
Right.
Okay. And so it just so happens we're right at the 7-day, 8-day mark. So we went in and we got attempted to get our visa in Mexicali, and their machines were down. So we had to drive another 6 miles, which is great because I think it's called Mexicali South, and which triggered us on the way home to a better way to exit.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
Nice.
So we probably saved an hour and a half when we exited, after our trip. But anyway, yeah. So you stop and you get your visa. And then you drive. It's about 120 miles, I think, somewhere around there to San Felipe.
Right. A little hot during this time of the year.
Really hot. Yes. Yeah. It was. Yeah. July is a hot time to go for sure.
It is.
And so we drove in. We stayed at the El Capitan. Does that sound familiar? You've ever heard of it? There's a little hotel there. $96 a night. Double occupancy. Yeah. And,
you know what? When we went, the last time I was there several years ago, but we went to a restaurant before we even thought about, and the waitress says, hey, are you looking for a hotel? I go, yeah. And they go, oh, well, we have a couple rooms in the restaurant. I go, you serious? And so she takes us perfectly air conditioned. I go, how much? $15 a night.
Oh,
Sign me up.
You're showing your age.
So you get up in the morning, you're in a freaking restaurant with, coffee's already made. And
absolutely.
Everything was good, but go ahead.
Yeah. So we hung out, all night that day, just, had dinner at one of the local restaurants. And then you grab it, you're all excited. So you got all your gear. We have more gear than we know what to do with.
Yeah,
It's insane. It's worse than a bass tournament,
Yes,
which I never thought
we
I'd
know.
say that. And so you get on the ship. The Tony Reyes is, I don't know how long, 100 feet long. I'm not sure how long it is, but you put your gear on that day in the morning, and then you get on the boat, And you show your visa. They come in, they check the boat out and everything. They have kids come here that'll put your gear on the. That's the best part. You have kids will come in and put your gear on the boat.
Oh, I know, right? Yeah, it is.
You give them a couple bucks and send them on their way.
Yeah, right.
And then we're usually by 1 o'clock we're on the move, headed south.
Oh shoot!
Perfect. Yeah. And we drive all night. We drive all night, and then we actually early in the morning, you got dolphins jumping and everything all over the place. And the first spot you stop at, I think we're 80 miles or so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
south.
going down the coast, south.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. The Sea of Cortez.
Right.
And they've got 9 pongas, and the pongas are about 20 feet long or so.
Yeah.
And they've got a crane that cranes them one at a time in the water. And same ponga drivers. This is my 3rd year.
Yeah.
So same guys that run the pongas. You get an assignment. A guy by the name of Craig Johnson happens to be the charter master. He's a great guy, and he puts together a jackpot, gives us a bunch of lures. Guys donate. We got our own custom T-shirts. It's first class.
That's awesome.
And you fish. You eat breakfast first. Usually eat breakfast around 5:30 in the morning. Just nice chef. Usually, your whatever eggs, bacon. Whatever they got going on that morning. And you're on the boat within probably 30 minutes, and you fish from 6 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. 6.5 hours.
Wow.
Okay, and so then you go in, you take all the fish that you've caught. They don't fillet them, but they gut them, put them in a fish hole down below.
Ice them down.
Yeah, ice them down, and then you're eating lunch. So between 12:30 and 1:30, you're eating lunch.
What about the food? How is the food?
The food is excellent.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's excellent. You're either going to get toast or tortillas with every meal, but that's okay. The fruit. It's world class.
Yeah.
And then you usually take a little siesta, and usually by 2:30. You're back out in the boat again. You fish till dark.
Wow.
Yeah, so you're
and
fishing.
dark was like what, 8:30, right?
Yeah. So we're usually back in the boat around 7:30 as the sun's setting.
Yep.
And it's the most beautiful scenery of the Sea of Cortez that you can imagine. This year, the first day, the guy, our ponga driver says, "Wake up, wake up!" As we're driving, and there is a whale right next to the boat, a blue whale.
my God.
And it was
That's
a
a biggie.
it was a baby. It was a baby.
Yeah.
So it was only about 22 feet long or so.
Yeah.
But I actually I have a YouTube channel. It's a shameless plug. Todd Woods
Please
Fishing.
hit it.
Todd Woods Fishing YouTube channel. You can go in there.
Todd
and,
Woods Fishing.
yes, on YouTube, and you can watch you don't even have to watch the whole video. You watch the first 30 seconds. And it shows me with that whale, by our boat, and it's the most beautiful sight you could ever think of.
Was it Mama around somewhere?
Not that we know of.
Wow.
Yeah, no,
Usually
it
you
was
don't
kind
see
of
'em
doing
run
its
the
own
company.
thing.
Wow,
Yeah, and it
that's
actually, I guess, they eat Creole, I think it is. It
Yeah.
actually, its mouth was open as we were pulling up to it.
filter
It was
feeders,
feeding.
yeah.
And it had one of those, what are those?
Remora?
Yeah, it had a
Yeah.
remora on its back, about this
Sounds
long.
like a whale shark. No?
Could I be wrong? Yeah, I could be
Could
wrong.
be, yeah. It sounds like-
Yeah. What did I say?
They're a blue whale.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it sounds like a whale shark.
Okay, yeah, it's
His
got a bunch of
mouth's
dots
open
on the
and
back.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what is a whale shark?
Whale shark,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Largest
baby
fish
whale
in the
shark.
world.
Yeah. So good. You watch my video and correct me. Tell me what it is.
Got it. I know why you got screwed up, because we got Mike Krinkovich out there playing some crap out loud so he distracts everybody. I love Mike, Hey, let's turn it up out here so we can screw up the show. Thank you, Mike.
It was definitely a whale. That's for sure. But anyway, so yeah, and so it's just a great day. You do this for 4 days straight. Well, we bounce, and then every day we move.
Yeah.
So by the evening, we're moved another. There's a refugio. Am I saying that right? The National Monument, I think it is. We go there. We go to Snake Island, and then we go to some other places. I can't remember the names, but it's just absolutely gorgeous. And then the last day, we fish for giant Goliath grouper.
Oh, you do fish with those?
Yeah.
Those things are bitching.
Yeah. On the last.
Did you get one?
Well,
Or did you get your clock cleaned,
We
at
had
least?
we had wind. We didn't get. This is the first time. The guy that puts on, he says the first time in over 25 years of doing Tony Reyes, we did not get to fish them because of the
wind.
The wind, yeah. But we fished it last year. We fished it the year before. And there's always one, like you said, either someone gets their clock clean.
Yeah,
there's always a couple
this is
caught.
Fishing 80 and 100 pounds.
Yeah.
You got to let them know that. They
Yeah,
still
so I
get
think
rocked.
2 were caught last year, and I think 1 or 2 were caught the year before, out of 27. So there's 9 boats, 3 guys in a boat. So there's 27 of us, and it's just a fun time.
It's great. I love it down there.
And how about accommodations? What would you say about that?
Yeah,
Good?
so I'm not familiar with all these 7-day trips that you guys go on or whatnot, but the rooms are different sizes depending on your.
Oh, so there are staterooms.
Yes, there's air conditioned state rooms. Okay, there's no, the toilets are outside of the room. There's no showers or any running water or anything. But there's plugs for you to recharge your GoPro for the next day, or your sleep machine, to hook in.
Yeah.
And so there's usually 2 or 3 to a room, and I there was one guy with me. There was a two bunk bunk bed situation, and so it's 22 degrees Celsius.
Oh my goodness.
So whatever that is,
Yeah.
that's what the temperature set at. It's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
cold. It's pretty cold.
Yeah.
So cool.
That'll keep it nice and cool, especially
Yeah.
when you juxtapose it to 100 and whatever it is outside, right?
Yeah, exactly. One of the days, I'm going to go next year probably in springtime, because one of the days it was so hot and there was 0 wind that I don't think you could keep up with drinking fluids.
Oh, right.
It was one particular day.
Right.
And then when the Pongalera, is that how we say it?
Yeah.
When he
Pongalera.
decided to move, it was like an air conditioner, because you're all sweaty and everything.
That's true.
And for
Yeah.
people out there who don't speak Spanish, how's the communication with your plangero? And
It-
is
you
it
know,
okay?
yeah, no,
You figure a way to, right?
Yeah, no, it's great because I have fished, I've fished with Japanese anglers that don't speak English.
Yeah.
And fishing, there's a universal language. And what I mean by that
That's
is,
right.
let's go, you get the net, I mean, there's just certain things that from facial expressions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fortunately, one of the guys that I rode down with, his name is George Foco, I believe that's his name. He was 100%.
Foca.
Yeah, he was 100% fluent in Spanish.
Oh,
And
perfect.
he was in the boat with us. So, every once in a while I'm like, what are you guys talking about?
You. I want you to know.
Yeah, exactly. But no, it's no problem. Those guys probably have, they have enough of the English language,
Yeah.
to communicate.
And talk to us about the variety of species you can catch on a trip like this.
That's great. So in 3 years, I caught a rooster fish, which is not common. Okay, I think there's probably been just a couple caught on the trip. This last trip, I caught a 30-pound, on bass gear, I caught a 30-pound,
Cabria?
no, I sent you a picture of it, amberjack.
Yeah.
What was
yeah.
it? Jack Crevalle.
Oh, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Those things fight like hell.
Oh my gosh, with bass gear,
Yeah.
it's insane,
Yeah.
And I fought that thing for, it seemed like 10 minutes, That's on my video also. I did catch that one on my GoPro. But yeah, and yellowtail. The first year I caught a 20 to 30 pound, I remember how much it weighed, white sea bass. Yeah. This year a black sea bass was caught on our boat.
Nice. And you
Pargo.
can keep a black sea bass in Mexico.
Yes, you
waters.
can. Yeah,
Yep.
we did. Yeah. Pargo. I caught Pargo, which I'm told that's the only true red snapper.
Maybe.
True
Yeah,
that?
I don't know
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah,
Is
that's
that
what I was
true?
told.
That is, well, especially there.
Yeah.
Especially down there.
Yeah. And it was a big one. I caught that. And then obviously you catch spotted bass, spotted bay bass, cabria, which is basically it's a grouper, but I call it a smallmouth bass on steroids.
Yeah, for
Oh, yeah.
sure.
Because I think it's a broomtail grouper or
And it-
Well, right.
Yeah.
They do have those too.
Yeah, in that family. And one day I caught like 30 of them between, when I say one day, one session, I caught 30 of them between 2 and 11 pounds. And I caught those on, throwing these
That's
giant
it.
jerk baits, man.
That's
I
it.
brought
That's
my
what
little
it's all
tackle box
about.
right here,
That is a
throwing these jerk
blast,
baits.
too.
Yeah,
So that worked well for what species?
for the cabria.
Okay.
Cabria.
Yeah. And you throw those in you throw them in the shallows, and with bass gear, but with 65-pound braid and an 80-pound leader.
Wow.
The reason why you have to throw an 80-pound leader is because they know the rocks is their house.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and when they come up and eat that bait, the first thing they try to do is take it down in the rocks. And
Yes.
so if you've got anything less than 50-pound test, you know, a 3-pounder will snap 50-pound line.
Oh, heck
which is,
yeah.
yeah, which is kind of crazy when
You know,
you think
Todd,
about it.
you can mess up a lot of your freshwater bass guys because after catching freshwater bass, these things will smoke you. You got to be on them.
Yeah.
You got to be grinding.
Absolutely.
And your rod's got to shut off. It's got to recover fast.
Yeah.
And it'll teach them to fish bass better, to be honest with you.
Oh, definitely.
If you fish that, you know, you'll be able to be a lot more efficient fishing freshwater bass. I
Yeah.
mean, it's actually nothing compared to what those things fight like.
Well, and what's crazy about the retrieve is, you know, when you see this, you know, if you're a bass guy, you think you're supposed to go jerk, jerk, pause, jerk, jerk, pause. You reel this in as fast as you can.
Oh, you're just straight winding?
Yeah, just a straight wind. And all of a sudden, it just stops. And when it stops, then it goes, you know, and I've got my drag cinched all the way down with my bass
and
gear.
it's still
you know?
pulling
Yeah,
line.
300 size reel.
Whoa.
And it's pulling line, you
Yep.
know? Yeah, and sometimes if there's no rock, they'll take you in the seaweed. I don't know what it's called. You know, I think it's sargassum. Or
Sargassum,
something.
yeah,
Yeah.
sargassum, yeah.
They take you in that, and then you think you're snagged. You know, no, it's going to break. It's going to break, and then you pull out this. That's when I caught my 11-pounder with a big clump of.
You know, it's funny you should say
Weeds.
that. Here, wait. Go ahead, keep talking.
Danny's going to break out his video.
No,
Keep talking.
really.
But yeah, this, and I learned this. You know, and I learned how to use these from watching YouTube videos.
Okay.
Yeah, because before I went on my first trip, I wanted to do well at what I was doing. So I watched a bunch of videos. There's a guy called Dirty Hookers, and he's got some great videos on
Yeah,
fishing
Scott
for
Buford
Korea.
goes to a dirt. No, he doesn't. I got that mixed up. I'm sorry.
Does that look
Yeah,
familiar?
that looks very familiar.
Beautiful. We should show
Yeah,
everybody
see if
out
we can
there.
show that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Anthony
So
will
he-
show you.
Todd's exactly right. You got to grind them out of the kelp,
Yeah.
and they get in all the goody stuff, you know. But they're a challenge. I mean, and if you're a freshwater bass guy, you tune up out there, you'll be able to smoke the largemouth. Let me
Yeah.
tell you. And you know, I was blessed to have the saltwater background too, because pulling on them is considerably different than fishing them up at, the freshwater lakes. You
Yeah.
know, it's a whole different deal. And plus, we're fishing light line up at, at Casitas. We're fishing 8-pound, 10-pound at the most for me.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're finessing them more there. And even with those big fish, they don't pull like these things.
No.
These things put their head down and they go.
Oh yeah. Yeah. We caught some big yellowtail in some
Yeah.
200 feet of water.
Yeah.
And one of the things I learned on this trip was they're not line shy. 80. One of the guys was throwing 80-pound. I said, "Hey, what's on that rod? 80-pound. What's on that rod? 80-pound." He had 80-pound on every rod.
right on, man.
I have 80 on all mine
Yeah.
too.
Right?
Yeah, oh, I've gotten smoked.
Yeah.
On a few, yeah. So,
Yeah, good stuff. Hey, hit that like button, everybody. Make sure you visit Todd Woods Fishing
Please.
on YouTube.
Like and subscribe. I need a couple
Like
more.
and subscribe right now because you get more of this guy, and he is absolutely fantastic. We're going to get back to a bunch of comments that are here. We've already zoomed through over a half hour on this show, and
Wow.
man,
Holy
I'm telling you, we're
smokes.
just flying
Where's the
through
time
it.
go?
I'm
Yeah.
interested about the fish processing, the cost, and how that goes down. What about that?
Yeah. So the cost, I average it to about $300 a day. The trip.
No, for the processing though.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Okay.
just
Yeah.
to get your fish clean.
Yeah. There's
and
no
everything.
charge. They don't.
that's-
That's included.
Oh, wow. So then go ahead. What's
Yeah,
the cost?
yeah. So the cost is
Man.
about $300 a day.
Wow.
You know, it's a $1,500-$1,600 for the cost of the trip, and then you got to pay. You know, like we stay in a hotel, so I could mention $96 a night, $50
Yeah.
per person, if you're double occupancy. And then the food, when you're there, you got to buy the food before you get on the boat, which is a couple bucks usually. 10, 15 bucks.
So good, too,
yeah,
isn't it?
yeah, and it's all based on once you get to that, when you pay, it's all based on tips, okay, and then, because as the average salary for a Mexican, in Mexico is about $1. I think it's either $1 a day or $1 an hour. I can't remember.
$1 an hour.
$1 an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I was fortunate enough. I'm bragging now. I was fortunate enough to win the jackpot the first day.
Woo!
Yeah, which is
So you have a jackpot every day?
yeah, they have a jackpot
Oh,
every
wow.
day. They have
Cool.
it first and a second place, actually.
Nice.
Yeah, if you come saying it. And first was $80. And so for me, that $80 went right to the Ponga driver,
Oh.
And
They love you.
and that way, you know, he's going to work even that much harder to get us more fish the next day. That's how I've always, you know,
Absolutely.
seen it. Yeah, you know, but then again, you know, and people will tip. We tip in different increments. Like we tip the crew, you know, usually
chefs.
$50. Everybody, you know, the chef usually $40 to $50, you know, per person from us. And then I gave my pongo driver $200, you know, which is, you know, I mean, if you go out on a day trip, if you go out with me on a bass trip, it's going to cost you $500 a day.
Yeah.
So, you know, $200 is nothing, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm with him for 4 days.
Right.
You know, you're with the same guy all day. And, you know, we bring snacks and stuff too, you know, just kind of munch on beef jerky, you know, trail mix and that kind of stuff.
Very cool.
You know, you want to dress light, you know, whatever it takes for you to be able to handle, because it can be, like I said, one day I think it was at least 100 and 105 degrees with zero wind.
Yeah.
With a lot of humidity.
Yeah. So I was down there a month before you. First week in June.
Is magical, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
But you know,
right?
last year it was perfect, the timing on everything, the weather and the whole deal. This year we do a 2-day trip where we camp on the beach, which I love.
Yeah.
And you know, it was different. It was just so much cooler this year. But you know, that's typical. That's not unusual for any type of fishing. It's not
That was us last year. It was cooler last year. Yeah.
So
the food, though, they do like a ceviche lunch one of the days.
Oh, yum.
Yeah, and I think they're actually using, what's that fish that's kind of...
they're using triggerfish.
Triggerfish, yeah.
Probably.
Excellent,
Oh,
excellent,
my God.
excellent. Yeah, I don't
So
know how.
good.
Yeah, you know. And then they do a steak night also where they take the carne asada.
Yeah.
And they barbecue it. We have like a barbecue night where they barbecue.
Cool.
And then they bake a couple of the yellowtails that we caught.
Oh, nice.
So I actually, in my video, I show that a little bit, you know, that, you know, but no, it's, the food is excellent.
That sounds so good.
Yeah.
That sounds like a real adventure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely, yes.
You know, I mean, I guess, I don't know how to, I'm going to try to say this, but you go on a San Diego long range boat and it's an adventure, but it is so professional and so good.
Yeah.
It's not that the Mexican thing is not that. It's a different kind of thing, and it makes it like, I don't know, more of an adventure.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of, you're in Mexico, and
Right.
maybe the boat is not perfect, but it's awesome. You know, the whole thing.
Yeah.
The charm.
It
of
has like a
Mexico.
camp feel to it when
Yeah.
you're camping. I think it's, you know, part
Yeah.
but with
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
food. And then, you know, it's kind of like when you go camping and you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's like the best peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
You're darn right. Yeah, that's a great analogy. I love that. That is so true.
Yeah.
Can I read a couple
Absolutely.
comments
There you
here?
go.
Hey, Lipper, can we take that up on another show, my friend? All the rules about exiting Huntington Harbor. I'd be happy to do that for you. Congrats on that great one, John Dulay. Let's see, live free, die free. Afternoon, gentlemen. Mike Krinkovich, who's making all the noise out in the green room there. Oh, he's BSing about nothing. The whales will eat red crabs. That is so true. Richard Hughes is screwing with Mike Krinkovich. I love that. Keep it up, Richard. And let's see. Man, well, there's a lot of comments there, but I'm trying to keep them to this show in particular. Tim Marquez last week caught his personal best 135-pound bluefin tuna, and then later put on a 240-pounder on board the Islander.
Nice.
Tim's a great guy, man.
Nice.
It's really good to see that. I guess I was the
fish.
beneficiary of much of that bluefin tuna.
Yeah.
Tim, thank you so much for that. Reggie Wynn says, good afternoon, guys. Special shout out to Woods on the show today. You know Reggie?
Oh man, Reggie was the big picture of that giant. I think he had a yellowtail and maybe even a white sea bass. He goes to Cedros like
That's
10
right.
times a year.
Yeah, you sent me those.
Yeah. He's a
Reggie's
great guy.
Fantastic.
Excellent
yeah.
fisherman.
And he loves to screw with Scott Buchert every once in a while, so I love him
that's
even
even
more.
better, huh?
Reggie, anybody who screws with Scott,
Michael.
who's my man. You want to see a mackerel, everybody? Michael Limo.
Holy mackerel! Still alive.
Live fishing going on here for you, everybody. Really great stuff. So, would you, obviously, this is a dumb question, but I'm known for dumb questions, Danny. Would you recommend this
Oh
trip to
gosh,
him?
yeah, I guess that is a dumb question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
that's
really
good.
is.
Absolutely, and you know, and like I said, this is I've been to Mexico a lot, but on this particular on this particular trip, I feel for some reason, I live in Long Beach, so I feel that's just safer in Mexico than it is in Long Beach.
Dude.
I mean that.
Dude.
I love it down there. I'm with you. I love it down there.
You know
mean
what?
that.
I was having that conversation.
Yeah.
Who was that with? I've been told I was 17 when I drove to Laredo.
Oh, wow.
17 or 18. My
Yeah.
parents said, go for it. My uncle was saying, you're going to get your head cut off.
Right.
All this this bad stuff's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
I've been going for many, 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 many years and never had anything that crazy. Costa Rica, I had a kid jump out of the bushes and just missed putting a knife in my chest. That was a close call.
Yeah, I guess.
But I did meet my wife down there. She might have paid that guy. Who knows? But Ruth? Oh, no, I didn't have any life insurance at that time. She would have done that.
Probably liked you then, too.
But I was saying to somebody, there's places on Pacific Coast Highway that I would tell my wife, do not
go there, absolutely.
walk down the street there. Where in Mexico,
I don't know.
if you're in the tourist area, it's
No.
perfectly calm.
Yeah.
And I think about, and maybe you guys, think about all the people who bought into that and never gone down there and never had these experiences.
Yeah.
You're missing out.
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely.
we do a caravan type deal.
Yeah, we do too. Yeah.
There's certain protocols that
Absolutely.
you have, and you
Well, you don't want to break down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And there's just different things that, we found a good one, we had a 4-car caravan, and the one that was tailing me, usually I like the trail, but we swapped positions, and one of the guys, they had to go take a leak, so they pulled off the side, and we're going up the hill, and I go, what the heck, they pulled off the road while they were doing that, but at the same time, I don't know how they did this, but their highway patrol got them, and they kind of twisted their arm a little bit and got a little payola out of that because urinating close to the car, if they would have gone 30 feet into the bushes,
Yeah.
it would have been different, but it gave them an excuse, and it
Yeah.
was kind of it's the first time this has happened in 3 years. We've never had any incidents, but it just brought to mind. Make sure your protocols, safety is number one. Go through in your caravans.
Absolutely.
You stay together, and we travel usually early. And there's just
We
sometimes
don't
they
go
were-
at night. We do
we're
it
out
during the
at
day.
first thing in the morning.
Yeah, me either, right?
Yeah.
He's laughing.
Yeah.
When somebody was there, I
yeah,
drive it.
yeah.
I
But
do
we-
all the stuff
you
you're
know.
not supposed to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I still
so-
do.
Well, some of
slowed
our guys
down
do. Some of our guys do. They'll after they get all your fish. It's dark when you get your fish.
Yeah.
Usually we'll stay there overnight.
Some guys
and leave
drive.
at 4:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Some guys they're on, and they come back next year. We don't hear.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
I slow down to
Sure.
85 when
Yeah.
I'm at night though driving.
Well,
so I'm
yeah.
really
I mean,
bad.
that's the other thing. You will get ran over. I mean, what is it? 120 kilometers,
Yeah,
which is
right.
like what 60 or
Divide
something.
by
like
8, multiply by 5.
that? Yeah, it's about. I think it's 60 or something like that. And you will get if you're not going 75, you'll get
Oh, you got
past
guys,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, you'll get past.
And people don't realize that left-hand lane is for kind of passing when
yeah.
you move over to the other
Definitely.
lane.
Yeah.
And that's a great way.
Driving
Him and
one
I, we were going through Tecate on our way to Ensenada, and we get into this massive line, and we're like, oh my God. So apparently there was a wreck up above, and here comes this cop right to my window, and he walks up to the window. I go, yeah, oficial, what do you need? What's up, officer? He goes, dude, go pull over here, go up there and go up that dirt road, and then you're going to go around. I'm going,
Oh, you sure
how
about
is
that?
the dirt road, officer? And he goes, go, come on, you can do it. So this guy and I take off, and then he says, look behind us, and there's a whole caravan. We're in the front, and he's on his phone navigating, thank God.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
And we pop out in front of this huge accident, and we're on our way, man. It was so much fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? It was like an adventure.
Yeah, it's
doing
part of
that.
the adventure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's just Mexico,
Oh, yeah.
people,
I love
the
it.
culture, the food, the fishing.
Yes.
What's not to like
It
about
don't get any
Mexico?
better. Yeah.
It really does. And it's really, really great stuff.
We were lucky that I traveled with Steve, you told me. And
Yeah.
Todd, I don't know if you've ever done any trips with Steve.
No.
But he does international travel. Right now he's in Africa. He's in the Congo.
wow.
He's taking some friends fishing those, what do they call those? It's a nasty looking fish.
Oh, with the
the
teeth?
big teeth. Yeah.
Wow.
Like a Goliath tiger fish.
Okay.
And so he's over there right now.
Yeah.
But I mean, because of traveling with him and fishing with him in different countries, he really grills us on the protocols and stuff, and it's important, you know. And he does stuff like in Phil, I think we mentioned before, like he'll go to hospitals here in the U.S. and they'll have stuff that's coming on expired and they're throwing away cases and cases of medical supplies, and he takes them down there.
Yeah,
and we
he's
get
good about that.
We get down to San Felipe, he's like the hero. So maybe we have a little bit of blessing and a little cushion there, you know, being with them and you know. But you look at the stuff that we take for granted that we're throwing out because it's hit this date and bingo. Well, these people implement it for maybe a year or 2 years after. You know, it constantly does. So, you know, we take a lot for granted in our country. You know, we do.
John, pardon me, LabWorks, coming to us from Australia, says Africa's on his bucket list. He'd love to fish there.
Just talk to
Me
Steve.
too. I'd be all over
Talk
that.
to Steve. He's got it wired. You know, we talked about that, how he got started. He used to long range fish with me. And when they shut down the Revilla Hijatos initially for the 18-day trips, he came to me and said, and he was fishing with me every weekend on the Mustang. He says, where would you go for that amount of money? I said, you know, Steve, I've been reading this thing about, and he just wrote about this, about these peacock bass down in Venezuela, you know. This is even before Brazil. So he went down there and he blazed that thing and sat and they slept in a lean-to tent. They ate Vienna sausages out of cans. Yeah. They got chewed up on the beach, you know, in the sand and stuff like that. And now these refine these operations now to where it's just first class. Yeah. You know, and the fishing's great.
Good stuff.
All the Ponga guys are, you know, the guides are all trained. And so, you know, it's amazing how all this evolves.
Yeah.
But, you know, that experience is, like you said, I mean, with fishing, I mean, it's a worldwide thing.
Yeah,
like
and don't get me wrong. At first, I was thinking, you know, with all the heat from all the political part of it, you know, as I thought, we're gonna,
absolutely,
none of it, right?
None of it. In fact, you know, as you know, I think there was a group, you would know this, that from Mexico that actually went to what was this? Was it Texas? Texas to help rescue.
Yeah,
part of the rescue operation.
Yeah, when the California fires were going on, there were
same
Mexican
thing.
firefighters who came out.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So
you get to the general people and they're like, and I'm not making a political statement.
I'm not either.
You're worried about like that, or people are. I'm not.
Right.
But then you walk into like a curio store and they got the Trump pinata.
Yeah.
And they go, I mean, nobody's that serious about it. They're
Right.
just like, welcome to Mexico.
Yeah, exactly.
And they seriously have all that stuff.
That's awesome.
In fact, the pinata they had down there recently had him with the Band-Aid on his ear. I was just like, this is too much.
funny.
Only in Mexico. Yeah, that's great. Hey, LabWorks back in Australia. You got people watching you in Australia.
That's awesome.
He's
Wow.
explored most of Australia and fished it. Oh my God, this is going to put a big smile on Anthony's face. He doesn't even know what this means, but I'm going to tell him right now. Tommy Tar, Phil, I dropped something off for you at Island Tackle today. It's safe to open on air. Tommy Tar is the guy who supplied us with the original Scott Buchard head. We may have another one because we've lost that one.
You mean big picture head that was
Yeah,
up
we
here?
lost it. I don't know if Scott.
Who would take it?
Scott probably would throw it away. But I'm just guessing, Tommy. Maybe I'm wrong. John Dulay, if you have any flat fall, you can use spray paint glow in the dark 4 layers and clear coat 3 times. I used permanent marker to make a macro design before the clear coat. Thank you, John. That is fantastic stuff. So who knows? We may have a surprise tonight. Boys, we're running out of time here.
Wow.
We got a few more minutes to go, and that's it. And I can't believe how fast this show. We got to do this more often.
Get that off quick, Todd.
We've been
Absolutely.
hiding.
I've been here.
Well, heck, if you're in Long Beach, you're just
I'm close.
hop over the bridge, man.
Took me 10 minutes to get here from the house.
Perfect.
Look out at that camera and tell everybody out there that they're afraid to go to Mexico. They're frightened to go. They hear all the, you're going to get your head cut off. I mean, I get people who say that to me all the time, and I go, can you show me the statistics on how many tourists were killed? Yeah. And then that's when they say, shut up. Or,
would you rather
brilliant retort like that.
Would you rather go downtown LA right now or down there?
I'm telling you.
Let me tell you.
Yes.
I think about that, folks.
I'm telling you.
Because it's a reality.
No,
You're safer down there.
I feel very, very safe there. You know, I've never had an issue. I mean, you know, I've been going on and on. I mean, my wife, her family used to have a cabana in La Bufadora over there
cool.
outside. It's not so we would
Almost
go
there.
there.
Yeah.
You got a story for every
I
part
do,
of
man.
Mexico, don't you?
Broke down in a boat, almost drifted into the blowhole.
Oh my
Getting that
God.
close. It was great, man. Fantastic.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, on video. Wow. But no, I've never had any problems. I've never seen any problem. I don't know.
No, that's been great. Yep.
And certainly that kind of stuff can occur, but
Yeah.
like I like to say, when you do risk assessment, you don't ask the question, can a bad thing happen to me? You ask the question, what are the chances a
Right.
bad thing will happen to me? And they're minimal,
Yeah, and
as far as I can see.
And even when I was on the boat, we got into some pretty rough seas one day, and I was already calculating my contingency plan.
Yeah.
I bring my own personal life jacket and I keep it in my, so I
That's a
make
good
a
idea.
plan. Yeah, so
that's a good
I make
idea.
a plan. The other thing that I thought of that I didn't do, the Ponga, they have a 12-volt battery. The battery was dead. So we're out there, and of course, they know exactly what to do when their battery goes dead. They take the lid off, put the wrap in, they pull it.
right.
But I even thought, I go, you know what? I almost grabbed that NOCO jumper, just to have that in the boat.
Yeah,
Not a
with me,
bad idea.
Yeah.
I keep flares. I keep the flares that you pop.
That's all smart.
I set up a contingency plan.
Yeah.
Whenever I go. Maybe that's the fire department part of me.
Yeah. But those are all great ideas.
Yeah.
I was a Boy Scout. We have a lot of times in running boats all those years, you always had backup equipment. For contingency.
You have to. So you don't want to be, pardon my French, stupid.
Yeah.
You want to have a
right.
plan.
But that you're over prepared.
Yeah.
It's always better.
Yeah. Absolutely.
One thing that dawns on me, Todd and Danny, we're talking about, a bad thing won't happen to you, but it's really the opposite that we're not talking about, and that is you'll meet some people that are the finest human beings on the face. The
absolutely.
Mexican people are
Yeah.
really wonderful people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing. They're so happy. They're so grateful to have a job. When you go to, you know how it is. You go to a restaurant and that waitress is giving you an attitude. It's like, wait a minute, you're supposed to be serving me.
Up here you're talking
Yes, I'm
about.
talking about right
right
here. Yes, And it's like they're just
Absolutely.
happy to be alive,
That's
that
true.
they have a job, and they're making a tenth of what we're making.
I see that.
I
I bartend at the fair, so
Yeah.
we're doing the OC fair. I see that with some of my fellow bartenders. They treat people like, and some guy literally came up to me, I think it was last night, and he said, I'm not making much money this year. I can't tip you. And I go, don't even worry about it. You're going to get the same exact. I don't even look at what people, a lot of guys, they look. I don't look.
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah.
I mean, that's not important. I treat that person like a human being.
Yeah, absolutely. That's who you are, of course.
Yeah. And in Mexico, you just get the gratitude from the people there is overwhelming.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. And if you could speak, you're even in a bonus category if you can speak just a little bit of
Yes.
Sure.
Spanish. I think
Yes.
they appreciate that.
They totally appreciate it.
Yeah. I went to Mexico City with my son this year in the springtime, and my son spoke, I would say, first or second grade Spanish. And, he's white, bald head, looks like a skinhead, and blue eyes. And they loved him.
Yeah.
They absolutely loved him because, I could speak I know about 30 words,
You'll literally have people say to you, "Thank you for taking the time to learn our language." I've heard that a million times.
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I'm gonna learn. I'm definitely gonna start taking something. Hooked on Spanish or whatever those things are. They got going on out there.
All right, Greg Bates says, Boy Scouts, be prepared. Simple in everything. You guys are killing it. Great information and stories. Excited to get back out on the water, says Isaac. Gentlemen, we have to wrap this up. Todd, what a pleasure. One more time. How can people get more of Todd Woods?
Yes, sir.
We're going to have you back with us more often, too.
You can reach me on my YouTube channel, Todd Woods Fishing. Cast for Kids, castforkids.org, Todd at castforkids.org. I'm all over the place when it comes to fishing, whether it's ocean or freshwater. And I guess, and like we were talking about earlier, I want to see people out there volunteering. You want to be a part of this program? I'm not asking for money. I'm asking for your love and attention.
Beautiful. And Danny, what a great show, man.
Philip and
you're
Todd,
the man.
you're the man.
Again, Danny, thank
got
you.
it, buddy. No, anytime. Love it. Whenever you're around. Now
All right.
that you're in Long Beach.
Okay.
Hey.
Awesome.
Yeah, because
Good deal.
We haven't even done it our bass fishing.
Man,
stuff.
I'm telling you. Thanks, everybody. Todd, everybody, you can
Okay,
thank everybody
you,
out
guys.
there if
Thank
you
you,
like.
guys.
We love you. We can't wait to bring you Tackle Shop Confessions, maybe the Scott Buchert hit. And in between, at around 5:30, I'm going to squeeze in Captain Daniel Hodaway from the Island Spirit with a live update from Ventura. For Danny Kadota
right.
and Todd
We'll see you
Woods.
again.
Yes, sir.
Thanks for joining us
Got
at 20 Seconds Free Landing. We'll see you soon again, my friends.